Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pointless Top 10, a show where we make top 10 lists of the pointless things. Why are we flying by his pointless statue in Booty Bay? Because inside pointless things are treasure. Let's begin. 10. Number 10 is the Orc Sea Pup located in the Silver Pine Forest. And so the Orc Sea Pup is part of a quest where you have to recover 5 sea dog crates. And so he goes with you down to the beach and you just keep gathering all these crates and you're like, hey, carry this. Hey, carry this. And he's just like, this not so bad. Maybe a little heavy, but be okay. Maybe Captain carry one box too? Oh, heavy. No can see nothing. Oh, please kill me. Just giving me a hernia. Captain, what's a hernia? And no more. This Maximo meat. This too much. But then, of course, there's the line he's most well known for, which is, this hurt so bad, like the time the poop came out sideways. He also started like glitching out after a while and some of the crates were just gone. Either that or he was just using some crazy magic or something. But yeah, I think this guy's great. I really wanted to put him on the list. I contemplated putting him higher on the list and I was like, you know what? I like putting something kind of fun at number 10 and he's not too crazy or anything. So I thought he fit here perfectly. Plus, if somebody watches half this video and they're like, you know what? I don't really care about NPCs carrying stuff, at least they will always remember the Orc Sea Pup, and that's why he's number 10. 9. Number 9 are the Niffin, and the Niffin are located in the Zarlek Cavern in the Dragon Isles, and down in the city of Loam, they are carrying around various things such as rocks, crystals, as well as one that's carrying a broom, and he is chasing around this mouse creature with the broom. He just really wants to get rid of this mouse from the town. You can even see back there, he is going crazy trying to get this mouse. He's like, not today, mouse, you are getting out of here. But aside from that, there's the other ones, and they're just carrying around rocks and crystals, and there's nothing too special about them, but they just look kind of funny. They like have their little rock or their crystal, and they're just like, doo 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 doo, just carrying it around, having a good time. Well, I think they're having a good time. They might be having a terrible time for all I know, but there's even this one part where it shows them warping in with the rock, and you can actually see the rock, and then they warp in around it. It almost looks like they just warped in from a spaceship or something, so I thought that was pretty fun. But yeah, I like the Niffin. I think they're funny carrying around their stuff, and that's why they're number 9. 8. Number 8 are the Grain Hunter Hawks, and the Grain Hunter Hawks are located in the Valley of the Four Winds in Mista Pandaria. And this is actually one of my favorite things in Mista Pandaria. I always remember these birds just flying around carrying these bags of grain. It's not something you see in World of Warcraft very often. And so I was contemplating not putting this on the list because I'd already used it for Pointless Top 10 Birds. But I was like, you know what? No, I like these birds. I like this weird, goofy situation. So I decided to put it on the list. And the reason this is all happening is because the Pandaren bought cheap grain. And so you talk to Grain Lord Kai and he's like, you buy one wrong grain and suddenly the world falls apart. Now we have a sprite infestation and migrating birds to boot. I was just trying to help us hit our quota to the Storm Stout Brewery. And now that I think about it, I should probably include the sprites as well because they're also carrying these bags of grain around. You can even see right there, that little sprite guy's got his bag of grain and he's just like, woo hoo hoo hoo. So yeah, this is just a weird, goofy situation and I think it's pretty funny. So that's why I decided to put the Hawks and the sprites at number 8. 7. Number 7 are the Arena Laborers located at the Theater of Pain in Maldraxxus. And honestly, I always like finding weird things in Shadowlands because Shadowlands is clearly one of the least popular WoW expansions in World of Warcraft history, and so not many people go back and revisit it. So when I can find something where I'm like, yo, this is pretty cool, it's always pretty neat because I don't think a lot of people know about it. And so these Arena Laborer guys are just these little ghoul gremlin guys, and they're picking up these, I don't know, they're like little crates or whatever they might be, and they have to walk halfway around, or I guess it'd be like a fourth of a way around the Arena of Pain, and they take them to this cart and they put it in the cart and then they're like, all right, good. And then they're just like, whoa, 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 and they just like run away. And then there's another one and he's just picking up these big pieces of armor or metal and he's just walking back and forth in the more populated area. But I don't know. I really like these guys. They're kind of goofy and weird. They have like one big eye and one like non-existent eye. They have like crazy limbs that have been stitched together and stuff. And they're just doing their job, you know? They're just doing their grunt labor. And I'm pretty sure they have a toe on their back. I'm pretty sure that's a toe. Xalatash should recruit these guys immediately. So either way, that's why the Arena Laborers in Maldraxxus are number 7. 6. Number 6 are the NPCs carrying stuff in Borealis, and as you would expect, there are a ton of NPCs carrying stuff in Borealis since it is like a port town, so everybody's just getting stuff ready to ship or getting stuff off of ships, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff. There's people carrying hay stacks or hay barrels, there's people carrying actual barrels, there's people carrying sacks of stuff. I don't know what's in that sack, but they're carrying a sack of something. There's people carrying giant logs, either to or from the lumber mill or the lumber yard. There's people carrying big carpets, or I think they're carpets. I don't know, but they look like carpets. And then there's just a guy that's carrying another guy. He's got him by the throat, and he's just like, and he's technically carrying him, so I decided to put it on the list. It's also kind of crazy. That dude's hand is gigantic. Like, look at that. His hand is like the size of this man's body. Like, that is insane. He's got like Donkey Kong hands. And honestly, there's probably even more people carrying stuff in Borealis. Like, I have no idea. There's so much going on in this town. It's hard to keep track of all of it. But that's why the Borealis NPCs are number 6. 5. Number 5 are the NPCs carrying stuff in Dazar'alor, as well as the NPCs carrying stuff at Prospectus Bay in Mechagon. And that's because they're kind of connected. You can go to Mechagon from Dazar'alor, so there's goblins carrying stuff from Dazar'alor to Prospectus Bay. And the NPCs here in Dazar'alor are carrying a bunch of stuff. They're carrying azurite crystals and barrels, and they're carrying boxes and crates. Although I don't really know the difference between a crate and a box. I guess they're kind of the same thing, but maybe I should figure that out at some point. But then the NPCs going from Dazar'alor to Prospectus Bay are carrying different things. They're carrying various cans. I don't know if that's like Kaja Cola. I would imagine it is. They also are carrying bombs, as well as other types of barrels or crates, but it definitely seems like the more dangerous of the two options. However, there's also a guy that I found in Dazar'alor carrying a thing of watermelon, or like a little box that has like watermelon and a jug on top of it, and then there's this guy chopping the watermelon, and at first you think like, oh, there's like watermelon juice on his knife, but it actually looks like there's blood on his knife. So this is probably just a reused asset they use, because they're like, it kind of looks like watermelon juice. But I love the fact that it's just like some troll chopping up fruit with a bloody knife, and you're just like, is that sanitary? And he's just like, don't question the process of chopping up my watermelon, all right? I've always used a bloody knife. So anyway, for all those reasons, that's why the Dazar'alor and Prospectus Bay NPCs are number 5. 4. Number 4, the Cromgar Peons, and the Cromgar Peons are orc peons located at the Windshear Mine in the Stone Talon Mountains, and they do menial labor under the orders of Overlord Cromgar, including transporting ore out of the mine. And I actually stumbled across this when I was just looking for pointless top 10 stuff, and I was like, dude, this is perfect for NPCs carrying stuff. Like, I didn't even know this existed. And so they'll say funny quotes like, why we have to carry big rock? They said less work under the new war chief. They promised change. Move or I tell the overseer that you pooped in the bucket. No can see nothing. Move out the way. Who that? Somebody there? Walking blindly through dark mine with big rock in arms. Much better than last job. Move! This rock heavy. Maybe put this rock down and say hello. Maybe. And so yeah, you know what? These guys are just trying to work. They're trying to make a living, and they're just carrying this ore. And like that one guy said, this is much better than his last job, so that's good. So either way, that's why the Cromgar Peons are number 4. 3. Number 3 is Smoot, and Smoot is a goblin running at very high speeds around the Bilgewater Harbor in Azshara. He was tasked with inventing an induction samaflange, but he subsequently went drunk with power and now runs around town with his samaflange held high while proclaiming how much he loves it. Adventurers need to tackle him unconscious and steal the samaflange from him for a quest. And so yeah, when you talk to Fleep, she's just like, now that he got his samaflange, he's drunk with power. He's running all over town like a goblin possessed. Smack him and snag my samaflange. But I really just love the fact that this goblin is carrying a samaflange above his head and just sprinting all over town. He's like a cat that's got the zoomies or something. He's just like sprinting all over, and he apparently has a quote. I didn't see him say it, but he yells out, "One samaflange to rule them all," which is obviously a Lord of the Rings reference. But yeah, Smoot is definitely one of the most unique NPCs in the game, and he's carrying his samaflange up above his head, so that's why Smoot is number 3. 2. Number 2 are the scroll beetle, the thread beetle, and the book beetle. And I love these beetles, man. They're just these little beetles that follow around. Well, actually, they're kind of big beetles, but they follow around their Nerubian masters, or they follow the orders to go where they're supposed to go, and they just carry stuff. So like I said, you have the thread beetle, which is a beetle that carries thread on his back. You have the scroll beetle, and he is carrying the scrolls. And then you have the book beetle, and he's carrying books. And these guys would have been perfect for pointless top 10 animals with jobs, but at least I'm able to put them on the list of NPCs carrying stuff, which now that I think about it, oh wait, I did the goat thing again. I did the like about it. I don't know why I do that sometimes. I just do the goat, it's not even a laugh. Well, I guess it's kind of a laugh. I don't know. It's that sometimes I just make a goat sound. I don't even remember what I was going to say. Oh yeah, I was just saying sometimes I make obscure top 10 lists compared to normal top 10 lists. Either way, I love these beetles. They're really cool. I love that they're all carrying different things. They're just having a good time carrying stuff. And I like that for them. So that's why these scroll, book, and thread beetles are number 2. 1. And number 1 is the Pandaren deckhand located at the Soggy's Gamble in the Dreadwastes. And when I was thinking of NPCs carrying stuff, I thought this is the most insane NPC I could think of that's carrying something in the entirety of World of Warcraft. I mean, this Pandaren is just carrying this fish that is like 5 times his size, like it's nothing. He's like jumping around with the fish. He's just walking around like doo 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 doo. And then he just puts it away. Like, where'd it go? He just like takes it out of a box like it's nothing, and then he puts it away like it's nothing. Granted, I guess we do have backpacks as players that we just put massive things into and they just disappear. So I don't know if there's some sort of weird magic system in World of Warcraft that allows you to shrink down massive items into little items you can put into a backpack, because I have no idea how people are fitting all their items into their bags, and I don't know how this guy's fitting this giant ass fish into these crates. Also, he just like walks through the door frame with the fish as well. You're probably like, how did he fit the fish through the door frame? Well, he just walked through it. I don't know how he's doing half the things he's doing, but it's pretty impressive. And so that's why the Pandaren deckhand is number 1. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this episode of Pointless Top 10. If you want more top 10s, you go check out Animals with Jobs, like I mentioned earlier in the video, or you go check out Pointless Top 10 ceilings from last week. There's a lot of cool ceilings you probably haven't seen. Also, consider liking the video and supporting the channel over on patreon.com/Crendor or by becoming a channel member. Okay? Okay. See ya.